Howdy gang, I just wanted to jump on and do a quick resource recommendation for you. Last week in our Zoom rooted groups, we started off the new term with a first look at where we're going to be, exploring the idea of exile, of how we as Christians are living life now as exiles. And then how actually that exile is a theme of the whole scriptures. And one of the books that I referenced was this book. It's not specifically on that topic, but I think it's a wonderful book that helps us to read the Bible and to see the Bible as this coming together of repeated themes and ideas and stories which interact with each other, which reflect on each other and help build up this picture of what life is truly like. The book is Echoes of Exodus. It's by Alistair and Andrew Wilson. If you've been around me for any length of time, you will know that I absolutely adore anything that Andrew Wilson writes. I think he's a fantastic theologian. He's got a wonderful mind. Every year I make it my business to go and attend a conference that he's teaching at, because I just love to listen to this guy teaching the Bible, explaining the Bible, showing me how the Bible all fits together, and ultimately showing me Jesus. Now, this book, Echoes of Exodus, is really his attempt, along with Alistair to take the story of the Exodus, capital E, and show how that one event really is typical in life, in redemption story, and how actually there are stories throughout the Bible which echo this story of the Exodus, and that we can learn more about it, about those stories, and ultimately about the gospel and salvation by noticing the links, how these stories fit together and what have you. He does that by walking you, first of all, through the Exodus, by helping you to think through, well, what are the hallmarks of an Exodus? And when you read it, you'll see that there's so much more involved than you thought first time round. You've got the basics of being in slavery and of being brought out, but there are so many other parts to it, of women who deceive authorities, of sacrifice, of song when safety is reached. There are just so many aspects to it that you can see this Exodus story in new and fascinating places in the scripture. So the book, first of all, takes you through that, but then does a job of walking through the entire Bible. There will be bits that are missed out. Of course, it's a far smaller book than the Old Testament and New Testament put together. But walking through the entire Bible, showing you where the Exodus story, where these Exodus pictures and patterns can be seen and found. What's great about the book as well is that the chapters are really short. I think 2, 3, maximum 4 pages long, so you can get through them quickly. But let me say this, they are deep, they are rich, they are thick. You could probably sit down and read it in a day. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I'd recommend maybe 1 or 2 chapters a day. Maybe even going back and rereading those 1 and 2 chapters, because they are so rich, they are so dense, and they will genuinely brighten your spirit and lift up your soul. There is one warning that I want to give with this book though, is that as you read it, it will make you feel thick. It will make you feel thick as 2 short planks, because you'll see stuff, you'll spot stuff that you cannot believe, you cannot imagine that you haven't seen and spotted before. But I think when that happens, you'll be more than willing to admit to those thickness tendencies. I'm more than willing to admit to it. I hope you're more than willing to admit to it too. And to just be glad that Andrew and Alistair are helping us to see how the whole Bible fits together. It's helped me not just to see the Exodus themes, Exodus ideas, Exodus story running through the scriptures. It's helped me in how I come to the Bible anyway, of how I'm expecting people and places and events to repeat. And when I spot those and when I see those, that the scriptures are trying to say something to me, that the scriptural authors are trying to teach me, that God is speaking to me in those repetitions. So that's my resource recommendation. Echoes of Exodus by Alistair Roberts and Andrew Wilson. Get your own copy. I've got a copy. I wouldn't lend it to you. I lent it to Jamie and now it's very sticky because he spilled something on it in his car. But that being said, I hope that you can get hold of it and I hope that it serves you as well as it's served me. God bless.